Yes, today we teach you the number system. There are different types of the numbers, and once we understand and learn it, then all sorts of arithmetical and mathematical problem can be solved very easily. Okay. First is digit. What is a digit? All the counting which is done in some sort of number and they are written like 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, natural number. Natural numbers are exactly which can be counted like 1, 2, 3 up to a distinct and a finite value. Okay, whole numbers which include 0 also. So these become the counting numbers and 0, that becomes 0, 1, 2, 3. Then integers. What are integers? You see, sometimes we write is 2, 3 by 4 and sometimes we write it 2, 3, 1. So when those numbers are full numbers, they can be negative, they can be 0, they can be positive, they are called as integers. Because further in calculus and some of the mathematical things, you will study that in between 1 and 2, there could be millions of parts or millions of fractions can be done. So how do we define it? That's why integer has been defined like that. So full counting number like 2, 3 which specifies something or which specifies about the measurement of some quantity is the integer. Even number. The numbers which are divisible or which can be divided by 2 are called as integer or called as even numbers. That is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 like that. It can be minus sign also. Odd number which cannot be divided by. So we can say it is 1, 3, 5. This is 1, 3, 5, all which are not divisible by 2. Prime numbers. Now prime numbers are which are divisible by itself and by 1. It has only 2 factors by itself or 1. So let us say the number 17. If you see it, 17 can be either divided by 2, either divided by 1, or it can be divided by 17 but no other lower number or no other higher number, no other lower number. Okay, let me correct it. Composite number, numbers which have more than 2 factors. Factors means part of it. So that is divisible by itself. One is a prime number divisible by prime number and other could be whether prime or non-prime. Okay. Then least prime number. There is only one even prime number and that has got the least value is 2. Rest all prime numbers are odd numbers, that is they are not divisible by 2 and that is the least is 3 in that case. Okay, I explain some more about the numbers and their system. Some more numbers. I have written some more numbers like rational numbers. These which can be expressed as P upon Q where Q is not equal to 0. It means in a form of a ratio like 3 by 5, 17 by 21 or others. Irrational numbers which are not rational means cannot be expressed as a ratio clearly. So like root 2. Now if you try to find root 2 means square root of 2. It means result achieved by multiplying some number with itself and getting a perfect integer or a perfect number. So root 2, root 3 or any decimal form which is like 0.12357, something which is unending and still you go on dividing it. So it cannot be expressed as a ratio. Coming to like specific example, pi, you are very well aware. Pi is a word used for the angle as a pi radian. Now you will ask me, let me explain you a little bit. Radian is what? You have seen a circle. What is a circle? Circle is a boundary, or it is in mathematical terms it is defined as a locus of a moving point at a fixed distance from a fixed point, where fixed distance is called as a radius, and the boundary, the point, it starts from somewhere and it ends at that point only. But any time while we trace it or while we move it, it comes back to that point only. And pi radian is that if we take two straight lines, which are the distances between the locus point and the fixed point, that is called as the center of the circle, it remains same, that is radius, and it remains equal. So we'll have two radii, plural of radius is radii, two radii, and the curved part which it traces is, if the length of those three parts is equal, then the angle traced is called as pi radian. Okay, so total angle traced is when the point starts from any place and comes back to that place while tracing a circle, or while the circular path goes through or moves through, then these are 2 pi radians. Okay, so pi as a radian is an irrational number when it is written, because you go on finding its value, you will find that it will never be a full value. But mathematicians in past have found out approximately very nearer to that value as a 22 upon 7 and 3.14. Both can be written in the fractional part, where denominator, it means the lower part is never 0. So that there it becomes a rational number, that is 22 upon 7 or 314 upon 100, because 7 and 100 are not equal to 0. Okay? Perfect square. What is a perfect square? Perfect square of a number is the numbers of the digits multiplied by itself, gives clear and distinct number, or it is an integer, it can be even non-integer, but they are rational numbers. Okay? So a is like writing a square, where a is not equal to 0 or not equal to infinity. Infinity is the word we use for unending. Like at any level above the earth we see something called as a sky, but if we go from the distance from the center of the earth to higher and higher, or distant and distant, we still don't reach there. So we call it sky is the limit, or sky is at infinite distance. Okay? Non-perfect square, irrational numbers, when multiplied by self, we achieve some rational number, and that becomes a non-perfect square. That is root 2 into root 2 becomes 2. Root 3 into root 3 becomes 3. Root 17 into root 17 becomes 17. Okay? Complex number. Now, while it has been found that we can find the squares of positive and negative numbers and 0 also, but if it is to be found again square root, it means reverse process from a number which is perfect square, finding the number which is multiplied by itself to get that number. So we find always that the result is positive or defined as a positive. But what about if we want to find out some number which is negative, like negative 3? In that case, they have defined an imaginary number called I or iota, which is root of -1. Now, achieving -1 by multiplying a number by itself cannot be there, because if we want to multiply -1 with -1, we'll get a +1, because when two minus signs or same signs multiply with each other, we get the minus result. When so plus into plus is also plus and minus into minus is also minus. Okay? So some of the problems to solve, they have defined it as an imaginary number. And a complex number is a number which is a combination of real or the countable or a distinct number and unreal or the imaginary number. Like it is written as it could be written as 3 plus I4, that is 3 plus 4 are the countable digit or can be counted, but I is root of minus 1. So this forms the imaginary part and this is the real part of the operations on or operations of the number. First is addition, then operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. What is addition? I have written a plus sign. This is a cross which are two perpendicular lines which are vertical and horizontal, which can be set, meeting at some point, central point, which is the bisector or center of both of them. Okay? Where I have written it plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is equal to 12, means adding, means when I have some item like 3 pens, he has got 4 pens and I have got 3, my friend has got 4 and my other friend has got 5 pens, then the total becomes 12. That total or this is called as addition. Sign is written as a plus even if we do not write this sign. So this will be understood as plus 12. Subtraction, when we have something and we give out, after some time we give out something and balance which remains. So it's actually a balance. So like it is written as a just one horizontal small line, that is minus 3, minus 9 or minus 13. And operations can be 12 minus 5, and 12 is the bigger number or the higher value number than 5. And when we do this subtraction operation, we do 12 minus 5, that is equal to 7. So net result is 7. But if it is minus 12 and minus 5, then it is minus 17, because signs are both, it means actually numbers are added, but it is written in minus, which means we took some loan from somebody and further we took more loans, so total loan increases. That is the basic principle of that, is a basic understanding of it. Okay? Multiplication, when two digits or two numbers multiply in the sense added, one part is kept constant and other part is added by that particular value or that particular counting, so it becomes a multiplication. Like A, it can be written as cross or dot, A dot B or 3 into 4, it means 3 4s are 12, or you can understand it this way, like 3 is added 4 times, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, that becomes 12. It means, or we can say 4 is added 3 times. So that shows the multiplication. In case of the division, we write it like 1 bar and 2 dots above and below, which shows that it has got 2 parts, numerators and denominators. And it is written like as a fraction. Fraction means it has 2 parts where lower part is not equal to 0. So it becomes, it is like 15 by 4, which can further be, if divided, we get a result like 3 by 4, where this 3 is called as quotient, other 3 is called as remainder, where I put my finger, and 4 is the divider. Okay? 16 by 4, where they are, 16 is the multiple of 4, that's why we get it as a 4 or 4 upon 1. Okay? The upper part is called numerator and lower part is called denominator. And basically all these 4 operations are involved in all types of the mathematical or arithmetic or calculus or geometric problems. Now I I am showing you the divisibility of a number. You are given some number and you are not able to decide, because if you go on finding the smaller factors of it, it will take a lot of time. So there are certain tests which can be conducted so fast that looking at the number, you can decide that whether it is divisible by certain numbers or not. Okay, let me show you for some numbers or some digits, like by, if some number is divisible by 2, then the last digit should be an even number, that is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Like example is 3, 3, 4, 6, 8, 4, last digit is 4. So 4 is divisible, or 4 comes in the table of 2, or 4 is multiple of 2. So automatically it will be divisible by 2. 3, you count out all the digits in the sense that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digit number it is. So count out in this number 5,64,372, and you will find that counting all these digits will become 27, which is in the table of 3 or multiple of 3. That's why you can very well say that it is divisible by 3. Okay? Then by 4. Now in this number, like it's an even number, but you have to see that the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, or in the table of 4 or multiple. They are 4 multiple. So like 5, 1, 2, 5, 3, 2, the 3, 2 is the last 2 digits. You have to see those digits on the right hand side, extreme right hand side of the number, or we call it unit and tens place. I'll explain you later on what is meaning of that. So 32 is divisible by 4, we get the result 8. That's why we can very safely say that it is divisible by 4. Next is by 8. In the last 3 digits, that is a place value from 100, and if that value is divisible by 8, it comes in the table of 8, then very safely we can say that it is divisible by 8. Like 78240, we see that 240 is the multiple of 8. That, so we can say that 78,240 is divisible by 8. Now coming back to by 5. Now if the last digit of a very big number is either 0 or 5, then it is divisible by 5. You can say, or it can be, and if it is 0, it is divisible by 2 also, like by 10 and 2 also, because 0 becomes an even number also. By 6, if the number divisible by 2 as well as 3 combined, then it is divisible by 6, like 666. Last digit is 6, an even number, so divisible by 2. If you add all the 3 numbers, 6 plus 6 plus 6, that all the 3 digits, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, which comes in the table of 3. So it is divisible by 3. So if we add all these 3 numbers as 18, 3 digits as 18, it comes in the table of 6 also. So it is divisible by 6 also. It is divisible by 9 also. Because in case of the 9 also, this is divisible. Because 18 is in the table of 9 also, in the table of 6 also, in the table of 2 also, in the table of 3. So we can say it has got all those 4 and 5 factors, that is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18 itself. Okay, it's a very big composite number, or it has got 6 factors. Then 11, now it becomes a little difficult for us how to decide whether it is divisible by 11 or not. In that case, we can see that any number which has got number of digits. So digits placed at the odd value, and you can say that difference of odd placed digits and even placed digits. If it is divisible by 11 or that difference comes as 11 or 0, then it is divisible by 11. Like I give you an example. This is 48,32,780. Okay. So if you see that odd placed digits like 4, 3, 7 and 8, that total comes as a 22, and even placed numbers are 8, 2 and 1. That total comes as a 11, and if we subtract 11 from 22, that is odd and even placed digits are to be subtracted, sum of those digits. So I can write like this: difference of sum of odd and even placed digits, either 0 or 11. Since it is 11 and that is comes in the table of 11, or that is one multiple of 11, that's why it is divisible by 11. In mathematics, number of times we talk about the face value and the place value. Face value of any digit is that the value itself which it specifies, like 2. So it could be 2 fingers, 2 pencils, 2 pen. 3, it can be 3 boys, 3 girls, or whatever it is. But the place value of the same digit changes in a number where exactly it is placed. Like I have given you an example. You will ask me why I am trying to tell you or why I am teaching you this. Because it has been found that most of the people cannot spell out a big number written, because they are not able to judge the face value or the place value of a particular digit. Like I have written the number 7, 8, 5, 6, 9, 4, 3, 0, 2. Now I have also mentioned that 2 is at unit, 0 is at 10, 3 is at 100, 4 is at 1000, 9 is at 10,000, 6 is at lakh, 5 is at 10 lakhs, 8 is at crore, and 7 is at 10 crore. So while writing in the words, it is 78 crores, 56 lakhs, 94,302. So it is very important to know and understand the place value of the